ran up the street. But that's what this is all about. You know, so many of us, we need this type of discourse. We need this support because we're being told so many different things from the medical system. You know, I look people, you know, in their face every day almost that are quite nervous, quite anxious, quite frightened by what doctors are telling them. Also, you know, we're in the social media era, and everybody kind of gets hit with a lot of pieces of information and not really able to put the whole picture together, right? So, you know, as much as I do love social media for the way that it's been able to disseminate information, it's really important to understand the difference in the type of research you're doing, you know, not just, I notice like when something is viral because like 9 people will come in the shop in 24 hours and be like, you got shit legit? You got shit legit? You got shit legit? Or you got, you know, whatever the latest thing is that they're pushing out there. And, you know, it's very easy to tell when something trendy is being responded to. There also is a big wave of, the medical system loves to tell us fasting is dangerous. They love to tell us sea moss is dangerous. Oh, you can't, raise your hand if you've been told sea moss, you can't have too much sea moss and you have to be careful with the amount of sea moss you take. I just want to see, okay, because I'm really, you know, I see what they're, I'm like, oh, I see what y'all doing. I see what y'all doing, you know. They understand how pivotal a lot of these tools are. You know, where would we be without fasting, right? So what do? They put the fear in the people when it comes to fasting. And of course, as I'm going to discuss in a little bit more detail, there's a right way to fast, there's a wrong way to fast, and there's an optimal way to fast. Okay, so I know, you know, I heard some of the questions, and I know it's like, when we first get into things, we think, okay, you know, take these things, get these results, right? Like, you know, step A, step B, but there's actually quite a bit of overhaul of our lifestyle that has to take place because, like Tyrell very eloquently put, we have to create the environment within the body for healing. Okay, as we talked about gut health and absorption, you could take herbs even with not the best lifestyle and get immediate results. I see it every month, every week, almost every day. But everybody's level of buildup is different, toxins is different, deficiencies are different, and their gut microbiome, you know, I really appreciate, you know, the details you touched on, because if it's not working, we're only going to be able to do so much. And most people that I do come in contact with, I notice that they're frustrated. They've been trying to figure things out, you know, they've been taking some haven't taken anything before, but many people are like, oh, I've been taking stuff, and, you know, it helps some, and then I get into the real tough questions, like, are you strictly adhering to Dr. Sebi's nutritional guide? How many people in here have had a 30-day stretch or more with strictly foods off the Dr. Sebi nutritional guide? Okay, I always like to see, you know, the experience level of my crowd, so I can know where best to direct y'all, okay? So, you know, that's, again, the foundation, because the whole point of alkaline is not just to eat a food, it's to alkalize your environment within. That's what now will allow the herbs to do their best job. Most people have plaque, tar, parasites, of course, excess mucus, blocking and disrupting the chemistry that is alkaline. And another question that I get very often too is, oh, well, do I have to stay tight? You know, if I eat something, I think 1 or 2 people asked me today already, well, if I eat a couple things off the guide, it's not that big of a deal, right? Or if we're doing raw cleansing, well, if I have a little cooked food here and there, it's not a big deal. This is chemistry, ladies and gentlemen. So it is a big deal, okay? You can eat a bite of one thing that can set you back weeks on your journey, okay? And this is why most people are not, there's a few reasons, you know, I don't like to put it all on one, but that's a huge reason why we have to give our bodies a break from these foods, okay? A break. It's not normal to eat even every day. Our ancestors fasted. It's a requirement, okay, for a healthy lifestyle. Oil cooked foods every day, rough on the body, rough on the digestive system. And the amount of things we combine also puts the digestive system at a higher level of work. Who's aware of food pairings and the benefits of proper food pairings? Okay, so there's levels to the information, the science, and the chemistry that we need to create within our bodies to really knock things out the park and shut it down. Okay, the good news is it's one system, it's one protocol to get the body back in alignment. That's the good news. Woo. Thank you, Sensei. Thank you, Dr. Sebi, for laying it out for us, right? Because, wow. I still get up every day, I'm like, thank God he figured this out, man. It's no light task to travel the world, assess our indigenous ancestors and leaders, and then go back and lab test everything that, he was exposed to and come up with this system that we now, me personally live by, and, I would assume millions of others have had amazing results with this system by now. So that's no, small task. And I'm always very grateful for the work that we put in, but we do need to learn this system. And, just like at the table here or at the shop every day, by the way, I am the manager and herbalist at African Bio Mineral in Newark, New Jersey. For anybody who doesn't know, shop's open right now. Thank you so much, love. Thank you so much. 7 days a week. I do put a lot of, energy in, not more than Victor, but I do put a lot of energy into making sure that, we develop the shop. It is now open 7 days a week, and we want to be a pillar for the community. So if anybody's like, well, where can we come find you guys on another day? That's where we are. Okay. But back to the formula, right? I get the question at the shop there all the time. What do you got for this? What do you got for that? What do you got for fibroid? What do you got for cancer? What do you have for kidney disease? What do you have for, I heard thyroid, parathyroid, I heard, a couple other things. And yes, we can say, okay, we know these herbs deal with this system. We know these foods support this system. We know, this stuff is good for the thyroid. We know this stuff is good for heavy metals. I know a lot of people also got exposure to vaccines that they never did before. And there's now, we want to make sure and get ahead of the curve on the issues that can be associated with those, right? So, I always explain to people that it is just this one system, okay, that we need to get in line. So instead of trying to say, let me get what you got for this specific issue, does anybody here think their colon is cleansed, first of all? Yeah, okay, good. And that's good. I expected some hands to go up, okay? Don't be shy if you've been doing the work. But if you haven't done 3 or 4 30-day raw stretches each year while taking anti-parasitic herbs, I would say your colon definitely has plaque, tar, absorption issues on some level, as well as who's the friendly guys that love to inhabit the colon, the parasites, the worms. Most people are not their own thoughts. Okay, this is just a fact of the way things are, and we have to do that real work to get the real results. Okay, so again, like I said, there could be several things that making you not get the full results that we want, and we have to tap into the system, because most people, we want to get to it, right? I'm not knocking the instinct, like, hey, let me get what is going to fix this issue, but not realizing that your colon is plaqued up, your pancreas, your kidney, your liver, your gallbladder. These are essential, vital organs that regulate numerous functions within the body. And in most cases, we're not going to get the results that we want unless everybody is functioning at a high level. Does that make sense? Okay. So when we say we want to just get to the issue, of course I would love to, but this is why so many people get defeated, frustrated, maybe even end up quitting, because they think, okay, I do this, now I got the answer, and then they find out there's more. Then you find out there's more, then you find out there's more. Whereas I'm of the coaching variety to start you off letting you know, if you're not doing raw stretches 3 or 4 times a year, there's going to be more issues popping up later on. Forget what you're talking about right now. Forget what you're talking about right now. If you don't cleanse your colon every year, it's a matter of time. It is Russian roulette, as far as I'm concerned. Okay? So, again, we need breaks. Like real cleansing, and this is the famous line, okay? Every single day when I tell people, about the protocol and the regimen, one of the first things to come out their mouth, I think I heard it already today, and it's fine if it was you, is, oh, no, I eat pretty clean. Oh, no, I eat clean, Zen. And, I just do a nice, long smile every time, like, man, do they know where they at? Do they know where they're at? It's not like, we're the premier authority on even though we know our stuff. But, it's just that if it's not an electric food, we consider it toxic to the body. Okay? That means celery, spinach, garlic, turmeric, black seed oil, all rice except wild rice, which is technically a grass, but we'll get into that another day. Okay? And I could go on. I could go on with the amount of foods, and I get it. I grew up 30 years thinking potatoes and eggs work healthy.
I used to eat with egg whites all that.
Hey, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure most of us at a point, right? We thought it was a cleaner breakfast. Now I'm like, I don't need any burger situation. Thank you. I'm good. I'm good on the blood. No sense anybody still eats eggs, but I'm good on the blood, me personally. Okay? So, understanding that these things are all connected, and that, instead of trying to pinpoint this, that's why people do become so, again, deterred and frustrated. Then you find out there's more. Then you find out more. Oh, wait, now I can only eat these things? Oh, I thought all these things were good. I'm just going to eat air now. If I had a nickel for every time I heard that, right? And then from there, if I do get you to see, okay, alkaline electric foods. Okay, these are the good foods. We finally got the good foods. Okay, the good foods. Then I'm like, well, you can't cook them. now you gotta get into raw cleansing. So instead of just keep, bursting bubbles, I let people know our ancestors took breaks. They did not eat every day. And they definitely did not eat 365 days cooked foods, oil cooked foods, seed oil cooked foods. Because, we can grill, we can do other things, we can bake and stuff like that. But seed oil cooked foods in particular as well too, oh my goodness, the body is screaming for a break. It's screaming for a break. And, people say, well, how do I get into this? Where do I start, right? Of course, I mentioned it, the Drsebi nutritional diet, right? And then the next leg, high amounts of sea moss. Speaking of the guy that the medical system is working real hard to demonize right now, talking about too much mercury, and too much iodine, if you're allergic to seafood, you're allergic to sea moss, all of that is incorrect. Okay, sea moss is an algae. It's not blood. It's not an animal, guys. Okay, so the same rules does not apply. Again, chemistry, right? Blood creates a certain reaction as soon as it hits your digestive acids. An algae, like sea moss, would never create the same reaction as those foods. Speaking of, all those fish oils that my mom was popping for me as a kid, on them, that cod liver oil and stuff, guess what the fish eat to make the nutrients in fish oils?
Algae.
They eat algae. They eat sea moss, kelp, nori, wakame. What do you know? The lies continue to be exposed, right? Okay, so again, everything comes from plants. And sea moss is so important. So it really is important for several reasons. I could really spend quite a bit of time on it, but just know, it's not a medicine. It's the most nutrient-dense superfood on the planet. So when I tell people to have like 10 tablespoons a day, when they're cleansing, when they're fasting, detoxing, when they're under the weather, me personally, as soon as the last week of August came, we got up one day, and it was 85 degrees the day before, and the next day was like a low of 55 degrees. That was like the last week of August. That was, New York, New Jersey area. And from that day, I've been taking 6 to 8 tablespoons a day, if not more. As soon as the weather shift begins, I give my body extra. Okay, 3-4 tablespoons a day is usually minimum, but I give my body extra to refortify it. Sea moss also is going to help your body absorb nutrients on a higher level. It's going to strengthen the bones. It's going to strengthen the immune response. It's going to strengthen the nervous system, the brain. It's going to recalibrate your gut microbiome as well as anti-parasitic. So it's just such a huge pillar that most people are not really taking advantage of its full benefits, which is why I'm spending this extra moment here on it, okay? In Drsebi's Usha village, people are served a cup, 2 cups of sea moss infusions with, like, you know, ginger and key lime and stuff like that in there. Okay, so don't be shy. Load it up in your smoothies. I make my milk from scratch with sea moss. I make my flour, my bread with flour from scratch with sea moss. I make my juices, okay, with sea moss, you know, for those that are juicing as well too. Okay, even when you just eat your fruit and make your smoothies, you know, it's right there, it's step for step. So if you're not using it more properly, get familiar with it. You will notice big changes. Because as I go into the next phase, which is fasting, right? The same way we went alkaline or plant-based. Who started with a plant-based meal? Who knows about meatless Mondays? All right, meatless Mondays, okay, see? So you start with a plant-based meal or an alkaline meal, and then that becomes a day, and that becomes a week and a month, and you're like, oh, I don't hate my life, I like this, I can do this, all right? The same thing, it's the same exact process with fasting, okay? Start with a weekend raw. You know, of course a day, but a weekend raw is usually the first thing I recommend to people who are serious, and they want to get that length of time up. A lot of people, they talk about going straight to liquid fasting or, you know, dry fasting, which is like the highest level, guys, right? As opposed to just starting with raw alkaline foods and building their length of time up. You have the level of the fast, and then you have the length of time at the fast. Now, which one do you think will probably do somebody, the average American, right, more benefits? A 3-day water fast or a 21-day raw fast? Which one do you think would be more beneficial overall? The 21-day raw fast. Okay, even though a water fast is about, what, 10 levels higher, right, than a raw. And for those who aren't as familiar with the fasting protocols, you have raw, uncooked alkaline, you have fruits and veggies only, where then you remove the grains, nuts, seeds, which you can soak and sprout to eat raw, right, look into that, as well as fruits only or veggies only, food pairing wise, focusing on food pairings and that chemistry I spoke about on a higher level, as well as mono fruit, mono veggie, juicing, mono juice, right? Now we're in the liquid zone. These are all the levels of it, but it's not as beneficial if your lifestyle is so demanding for you to attack a juice only or a water only with herbs and sea moss, I pray, as well as, or compared to a longer stretch like I just illustrated of a raw cleanse. So don't rush the process, in other words. I know a lot of people are like, oh man, I need to do this 21-day juicing. I need to do this 30, this 45, and I would love to see you do those lengths of time, but if you can, if you go on for 21-day juicing and you're only consistently hitting 2 days, 4 days, 7 days, then just come down a couple levels and do fruits and veggies only, right? As opposed to just pure liquid. Just make it easier for yourself to get that length of time up, because I'm telling you right now, no matter what we're dealing with, okay, and I've talked to a few of you here today, okay, it's that same system. What we're all looking to do, instead of, oh, what do you got for this? The real protocol, okay, and if you listen to Sensei's lectures, if you listen to Dr. Sebi, this is exactly what he teaches. Whether you suffer from lack of energy or HIV, his protocol is the same. It's literally the minerals for each system of the body, with you extending your fast time and taking high amounts of sea moss. That is literally what he does at the Usha village. And Victor Bowman, his son, has done such an amazing job to literally bring all these rare, like I listened to his lectures, 7, 8 years ago, I'm like, damn, I'm never gonna find any of the herbs that he's talking about. I literally was like, oh man, when am I gonna find guaco? Contribo. Like, outside of Victor, does anybody know where to go get some contribo right now?
Contribo.
Okay, I see 2 hands. I don't. Okay, and the same is true for so much. So you have the formulas right here. All you gotta do is develop your length of time and build up your pantry. You know, I get it. We all have a budget, right? But we want to have an apothecary. You want to have a pantry. Same way we grew up with medicine cabinets with Tylenol, Pepto-Bismol, Robitussin, Sudafed, Mucinex. That was in my pantry always growing up. I'm sad to say. But now I have about 28 herbs, you know, in the house. Different, you know, volumes, 3 different strains of sea moss. You know, kelp, bladderwrack, you know, these are the things now that I'm reaching for. I got my salves, I got my Batana oil. I'm not reaching for, you know, Selsun Blue anymore. I grew up with dermatitis, I grew up with skin conditions, you know. I'm not reaching for Proactive anymore. I'm not reaching for any of these over-the-counter, highly chemicalized prescription drugs. So your job is to learn the herbs for each system of the body and to add those to your pantry. And that way, what I do for an ideal healthy lifestyle is I eat alkaline as much as I can, which I personally have not bought a grocery item for the home in years, probably 5 years, that was not an electric food off the Drsebison nutritional guide. Of course, you know, I've gotten caught out there with, I went to an Indian restaurant and the chana had garlic in it, you know what I'm saying? So I've gotten caught out there. I'm not perfect, all right, you know, and I'm sure hope, you know, nobody acts like they are perfect. We don't get caught up out here, you know? You know, even there's an Ethiopian spot, they got the teff flour, you know, they got what's the name for the mushrooms? They call the mushrooms something different?
Mushroom dips.
Yeah, exactly. They have their own little, you know, translated version, and even, you know, 1 or 2 things, I think they had some beets on the platter. You know, it wasn't 100%. So, you know, I do very well, and I shop very tight for my homestead, but when it comes out about, I'm not saying you have to be, you know, OCD, right? But the longer stretches we stay away from anything that can throw off the chemistry, the better we will be, right? So as you do commit to keeping those foods in your routine, now you want to do the right things at the right time. Who's familiar with circadian rhythm? Yes, I like the amount of hands I saw go up. Circadian rhythm, not just doing the right things, guys, doing the right things at the right time. It's important. It's important. Look, I'm getting excited now, okay? Doing the right things at the right time, you know? It gets me pumped. Because then I found out, oh wait, I can take it to a whole other level if I stop eating at the right time and I get up at the right time. And you can't just have 6 bottles of water after 6 p.m. Zen. You gotta have 2 in the AM. You gotta have 1 before a meal, 1 after a meal, or 2 in the last hour. You can't just, your body needs nutrients actually throughout the day. Right? Yes, get it in. Let's go. Let's go.
Get it.
Let's go. You're really like, come on, man. Come on. Okay? That's what it's about. Being prepared more and enhancing your lifestyle overall. Deep breathing in the AM, stretching, breaking a sweat. Who worked out this week? Yeah, you guys are on fire. I like this. I love this, actually. Okay? All these things play a tremendous part because guess what? It's a lifestyle. There is a whole, very large segment of my course and program that goes beyond the plate. Why? Because our cells hear our thoughts. And fear actually weakens our immune system. Anxiety, insomnia, depression. There are things that we're going to have to deal with if we want to get to the highest levels of health. And it's not all feeling great at every step of the way. Okay? So I say this to say, sound healing, your intentions with your thoughts, and everything in your environment can play a massive part on your healing journey. So as I try to as I do enhance things more and more as time goes on, you know, understand that most of us have not experienced really a fraction of the healing power the body is capable of until we put these things together for a stretch or multiple stretches. Because if you did everything perfect, would your body be squeaky clean in 30 days? Probably not. Definitely not. Okay? We're all working on probably decades of build-up for the most part. I don't see any, you know, adolescents in the room, so I would assume most of us are working on decades worth of build-up. right? And we don't correct all that overnight or first shot. But the point is, building up your pantry, taking herbs. So throughout the year, I rotate. I take them throughout the year, not when I'm cleansing, when I'm eating cooked foods. I like iron in my blends, no matter what I'm taking. So I'll have my burdock, my sarsaparilla, my guaco, chaparral, contribo. I'll have my iron-rich guys, and then I rotate everybody else. So sometimes it's for the blood. I'll have flor de manita, I'll have soursop, I'll have, more blood regulators, good for the heart, cardiovascular. Then I'll do a couple of weeks focusing on those. Then I'll switch to the reproductive, and I'll do a couple of weeks of iron and reproductive. Then I'll do a couple of weeks of iron and lung support. Then I'll do a couple of weeks of iron and colon support. I'm always working on a different system of the body. I don't do it for a day or two. From what I've seen in the research, you're gonna get more effective results when you do something consistently for at least clips of 21 days. Okay, your body needs recommended daily amounts of everything. So as you see on our bags, on our herbs, it says this dose 2 or 3 times a day. A lot of people taking the herbs, they have a cup. And not even consecutively. They'll have a cup here, a cup there, a cup there. No, you need 2-3 cups per day consecutively for at least 21 days to really know, is my body absorbing this? Is it not absorbing this? Am I getting the results? You didn't give yourself or the herbs a fair chance if you took, a cup, not consecutively on and off for like a week. You didn't really give your body a chance. And this is what I'm seeing people do with sea moss, what they do with herbs, what they do with everything. Even the fasting. Oh, I did a day here, and then, I wanted to go to this event, so I broke it. And I'm gonna pick back up on Monday. You just reset yourself. Okay? So, again, it's chemistry. When you are raw, the amazing thing about autophagy is the longer you stay with it, it gets exponentially more powerful the longer the stretch is. It begins, and for those who don't know, autophagy means literally just rebuilding your body. Your cells are always rebuilding themselves. You can activate. You can say, hey, I don't want to get sick anymore right now, body. Wipe out all the disease, rebuild all my cells, and make me like new right now. That's what autophagy is. That's what going raw for stretches of time does. It begins at about the 18-hour mark. Okay? So that's why people are big fans of
intermittent fasting.
Intermittent fasting. You're always on point, bro. I love this guy. He does his research. Intermittent fasting has become so much more popular because by cleansing a certain amount on a daily basis, you can get results, right? But it's a fraction of the power of staying raw for 21, 30, 45, 60, and even 90 days, okay? Now, I know a lot of people have said, oh man, Zen, I lost so much weight, I lost so much mass, I tried the raw. Who has done a stretch of raw over 21 days in a row? Congrats. You guys are adding years on, okay? Congratulations. And for those who haven't, my longest stretch is 28 days. I still have much further to go on my journey as well too. We're all just doing better every year. That's it. Don't, it's no competition, just push yourself and know there are higher levels, right? So as you get into those longer stretches, really seeing how your body responds and how much easier, like the beginning stages, the first 2-3 days tends to be where people have their biggest challenges. Withdrawals, cold sweats, nausea, irritability, loss of energy, and more. Depending on how hooked you are on coffee and sugar and cheese and bread and rice, potato, it can be even more taxing on you, stepping away from all these things at once. So ideally, by going alkaline, you're preparing your body. You already stepped away from half of what I said if you went alkaline, right? And now you're just getting away from more cooked stuff, right? And taking breaks and getting more exposed to raw. So getting into the system, back to the protocol, right? We have the Drsebison nutritional guide, high amounts of sea moss, herbal support for each system of the body. That means I get some herbs from my nerves, my brain, my lungs, my endocrine, my lymphatic system, and as the top the vital system that is heavily overlooked does not get its love that it needs, man. We can't release anything without the lymph. Okay? So when I talk about deep breathing, when I talk about stretching, I'm literally activating your healing on a daily basis if you're stepping into this lifestyle. Stretching adds years onto your life because of the lymph. Stretching. Isn't that crazy? Stretching every day. 10, 15 minutes adds years onto your life. Do your own research. You know me. I love everybody to get that concrete context for yourself, right? Don't take anybody's word face value. You gotta do that research, okay? But it's real. It's real. And when you add in positive mindset, okay, you know, people would be shocked. There's a water experiment that was awarded the Nobel Prize. Long story short, this guy tested what happens in water when you are mean. You know, he put like 3 cups of rice with water. 1 cup he was nice to every day. 1 cup he was mean to. Another cup he ignored. And the mean and the ignored cup became toxic. And the nice cup sprouted and was still edible. Nothing different besides the energy he lent to each cup. Okay? And if you actually look this up and you see under a microscope what the water molecules look like when you say a nice word or thought versus a negative one, your jaw might hit the floor. It's incredibly different. Okay? What are we? Mostly? Water. Right? So trust and believe that music, that TV, that reality with all the fighting and all the cursing and... All right, you have a question?
No, I was going to add to the... that I also read somewhere that even if you're in a bad mood, before you eat something, that it's also best to just wait until you...
Phenomenal, absolutely. Phenomenal piggyback, she's absolutely right. Even eating food, forget just the water and the things around you, putting things in your vessel when you're in a negative state is actually quite detrimental. You don't even, you pretty much miss the nutrients and you just get a buildup within the body. More or less is what the research says based off your mental state. Guys, let's think about that. Okay? Because there's a lot of people who are like, well, why have I not gotten the results that I'm looking for? Maybe we need to look at how we're feeling about ourselves and about our lives on a daily basis because it plays a major role. Stress kills. Okay? And, you know, it's really easy to say be happy and this and that and, you know, gratitude, we have breath in our lungs. Of course, I'm extremely grateful for every day. It's an opportunity to do better. Tomorrow is promised to no one. We all got a blessing today when we got up, right? So, you know, I live heavily in that, but I understand that, you know, life is hard and we want to, many of us, you know, I don't have a technical diagnosis and I know so many people are fighting for their health and I understand that how that battle can be, it can wear you down over time. I fully get it. That's why I'm a big proponent of meditation. Okay, you know, my name's Zen. People see me smiling a lot. They're like, how you like this? I'm like, should I be different? But no, I like this. It's an incredibly, I worked at it for a long time, guys. That's the God's honest truth. I'm working at it right now. Victor did like 6 things today. I'm like, bro, you did not set me up for this, right? It's always something new, a new curveball. But that's what's beautiful about life. You know, one thing I learned early on is that success is measured by the amount of adversity that you can overcome on a daily basis. Who wants to be successful with their health in this life and all to come, right? So it's going to be marked by the amount of adversity that you can overcome on a daily basis. I mean, we got quite a bit of adversity in front of us here in the United States. They're spraying the skies as we speak. They're tampering with the food supply as we speak. And they're looking to mandate more things as we speak too. And it's probably never been harder to protect your health than it is right now. But just know and believe it is possible. There are people doing it. And if I gotta live in the woods and grow my own food, I will, damn it. Okay? DM me, alright guys, let's do it. And I'm not kidding, people are doing it right now. I will not submit, so what other choice do we have? I really dislike the what can we do, Zen. What can we do? We can shut this thing down. That's what we can do. But we'll save that one for another day. Okay. We'll rally on that. We really will. Okay. So I touched on a lot of things that I know can bring some insight to why people have been frustrated with their journey. Doing the right things at the right time is really important. Longer stretches of mineralized fasting. A lot of people tell me they fasted, but they didn't take any herbs during that time. And I be scared when I hear that. But how do you feel? Because it's very different. It's very different. You didn't really attack the parasites, the sludge, and their eggs if you didn't take any colon support herbs while you fasted. Okay? And they're a big reason why a lot of people will not heal properly. There's a thick sludge lining the colon of every person, especially that belly ain't flat, guys, okay? Especially, no shots fired, but it is what it is. We gotta take breaks, we gotta get it down, okay? No shots fired. But
I felt it.
a stray, So, getting that plaque out and getting those parasites out, they literally can leach the minerals that you're bringing in every day. So then we got a gut microbiome that isn't properly in alignment, not absorbing properly. Then we got plaque. So whatever it was able to absorb, it has to fight through. And then we got parasites. So if you're down to 30% now, then they're leaching off on top of it. What percentage are we really getting if we haven't addressed these things? Okay, so I know a lot of people have taken some stuff and maybe they have gotten temporary results. If you've gotten temporary results and then saw some setbacks, we get excited about longer stretches of raw with minerals. Okay? You don't have to do every system of the body at once. Like I said, you can rotate through and then catch a sale and stock up, and then you have a good chance. Especially with days like today, every capsule $17, every tonic $17, real good shot. I bought mine in regular, man. I'm like, man, you gotta tell me ahead of time too, man. I just loaded up. Okay? So, but seriously, take advantage because it's that's a life-changing opportunity. These intracellular bundles, y'all seen them on the website, right? Y'all seen them on the website? They're 4 digits, okay? So I'm always so honored to be able to connect someone with that type of a resource. Such a blessing. We see the life-saving results constantly, okay? And then, if you do feel ready and you have been having good success, you can work your way up the fasting pyramid, right? Once you did 21 days at raw, or 30 or 40 or 60 days at raw, you can go to fruits and veggies only. You can go to juicing, you can go to liquid, you can go to mono. Each of those is a higher level of healing being activated in the body. Because the less work we make the colon do, it redirects exponential ohms. Energy is measured in ohms, right? Exponential amounts of ohms to other parts of the body to stimulate healing. Literally. The less we eat, and that's why when it's expensive to get healthy, then since when does it cost more to eat less? Since when, right? The last time I checked, baby bananas like $2 a pound. If you're really serious, eat baby bananas for a month. We just came out of watermelon season. I get a $20 melon, lasts me like 3-4 days, and it's $20 in New York. I think it's cheaper around these parts, okay? So you get a couple melons. Let's go, we're in business. You got your sea moss, because Victor the sale, you got your melons, you got your herbs. We don't need, we're having a party every day when we're eating all these different things at once, right? Your body actually only needs minerals from the sun and the earth. That's all our body actually needs. Most people, I tell them to go raw, I get the apprehension, but it would actually, for all of us, there'd be nothing better for us than 45 days raw right now. For all of us. This is not you because you're sick. Getting back to the main point of one system for all the diseases and making sure that we're doing it on the highest levels, right? That's the real answer. What do you got for this, Zen? What do you got for that? What do you got for this? I got a lifestyle change. That's what I got. Are you ready? Okay, because that's what it's really about. And truth be told, it really is. You're just setting yourself up for more issues down the road. If you want to say, I just want to deal with my fibroids. I just want to deal with my anemia. I just want to deal with my kidney issue. All right? All right, don't say I didn't tell you. Don't say I didn't try to, with love, give you the heads up that all organs of the body need a break. They all need that love, and they all need that cleansing. They need that TLC, that love and attention. They really, really do. Okay? So, shout out to Victor one more time. Really, really grateful for him creating this community and creating events like this over the years. It's changed, so many lives in front of me as well as my own. And this is just the beginning of what we're really able to do when people come out and we have a common focused goal that we're all working towards, right? So, I don't like to just talk at lectures. I like to get everybody involved, okay? I like to have a little doing action. This is not just the watching platform, this is the doing platform, okay? So real quick, we're gonna do a little breathing and stretch, just to get everybody